Well, joining me now is Nabila Ramdani, a freelance journalist and writer on the Arab Islamic world and French politics. Nabila, great to have you with us. Just talk us through, why this is so important, the fact we're having this big march going through Paris today.
Well, I think it's an extraordinary show of display intended to show the world that even though France had been hit extremely hard, at the very heart of the capital city, people want to show that they stand strong. We've seen a set of emotions amongst people. It went from extreme sadness to an anger to now a show of defiance, effectively. And it's no coincidence that they're trying to gather as many people as possible. Tens of thousands of people are expected. They're hoping to gather what they have already called the 1 million people march. And it's so important because, of course, it's going to get international coverage with international figures present as well.
A big statement also, the fact that we've got Mahmoud Abbas and Benjamin Netanyahu attending the same event too.
Well, yes, indeed, and it has to be said that the presence of President Netanyahu is slightly controversial, not least of all because of the events in Gaza this summer. Let's not forget that a very strong report by human rights organizations, including Amnesty International, have accused Israel of war crimes, carried out with callous indifference. So I think that might actually not achieve as much success as planned.
What about this idea that France could be paying the price, if you like, for the treatment of its former colonies? The fact that the banlieue, the suburbs, there is deep deprivation there, and also the fact that there is perhaps some disenfranchisement, to some of those Arab communities.
Well, I think this is a fundamental question. The catchphrase, the catch slogan, "Je suis Charlie," it's gripping for people like us involved in the media. It's a nice thing to report about, and indeed it shows extraordinary solidarity for what Charlie Hebdo has been through this week. But the fundamental question in all this is one of security, is one of terrorism. I think the crux of the matter here is people are still asking, how could it be possible that such an outrage has been carried out with disturbing ease in the heart of Paris, and especially by people who were known to the authorities, who were known to the intelligence services, whose background was clearly linked to Al-Qaeda groups. So these security questions are going to come to the fore, incredibly so, and are going to be challenging for President Hollande.
You mentioned, obviously, the slogan "Je suis Charlie." Of course, another one that is doing the rounds on social media is "Je suis Ahmed." And of course, we heard from the family yesterday, really keen to stress that this is not about Muslims, this is about terrorists.
Yes, absolutely. We've seen all sorts of slogans trending on the internet. Je suis Charlie, je suis Ahmed, and je suis Juif as well. Let's not forget that the tragedy involved the death of Jews, Christians, Muslim and atheists as well. So it's a very emotional, if you like, event, and it's very critical now to make sure that the communities will not be further divided. So that's an important question that President Hollande will have to tackle, make sure that the nation remains united, and not just through a massive display like this demonstration, but this a kind of symbolic gesture will have to be translated into serious political action.
Well, absolutely. I mean, it's all very well having these rallies, but those communities, you mentioned the Jewish communities and indeed the Muslim communities, there must be a degree of uncertainty about the future and indeed fear.
Absolutely. Fear is the right word. We have seen already the backlash against the Muslim communities. Several mosques have been targeted. Graffitis, racist graffitis have been painted. More disturbingly as well, shots were fired at at mosques. Blank grenades were thrown at some mosques across France as well, which prosecutors have qualified as criminal acts. So inevitably, again, we go back to the question of security. People want to feel safe. And let's not forget that the #1 duty of any government is to protect all of its citizens.
Really good to have your thoughts. Thank you very much. Nabila Ramdani, a French-Algerian journalist.